So happy Thursday, Junior Michelle.
Cheers.
Coffee cheers.
We've never cheered coffee.
Coffee tastes yummy.
Yeah?
In the morning, yeah, when you need it. I'm getting over something. I had a big sore throat yesterday, and I shoved zinc down my throat, and Michelle made me a ton of ginger tea, and this like apple cider vinegar, honey, Maluka honey tea thing.
Maluka.
Melaleuca? No, not Melaleuca. Manuka. Manuka honey. Anyway, just like, and then I ate a lot. Like I ate more than I would normally eat on a regular day. So, good morning, Lynn's Closet. How you doing? How's Florida treating you? This one wants to be in it. Our little Jack Russell. She's a little ham and wants to be a part of it. So, yeah, how's everything going? How many, we're wondering how many listings a day are you currently doing? We are doing 17, although the other day you did 18.
Yeah.
Which is one more than the daily goal. So, dark and gloomy, ooh.
And we sold one
like that
item yesterday from that 18 listings.
Right on. Right on, Michelle. Yeah. Well, we're discovering 2 years later the power of listing and relisting and how you start selling items right away from that, like literally within 1 day or 2 or less. Lynn's Closet says, okay, sorry, our dog just fell from the couch to the floor. She's old. Okay, she's okay. She says it's dark and gloomy in Florida, which can't quite say the same about Southern California. It is warm, but then again, I'm not feeling the best, so I'm wondering if it's just me that feels warm.
No, it's nice and sunny today.
Okay. So Lynn's Closet does 20 on average. That's pretty cool.
Wow. Is it on all platforms, or I know, do you use cross-listing program like Vendu? I remember we chatted about that.
Yeah, I think you're using List Perfectly, if I'm not mistaken, but you were considering maybe looking into Vendu. So yeah, so how long does it take you to list 20 listings, if you don't mind letting us know?
Poshmark and eBay right
So
now.
Michelle, you put the items on 3 platforms or 4?
Depending on the item. So it's Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, sometimes Etsy if it's relevant.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Etsy has to be vintage, right? Otherwise you can't really put it on there.
You can, but you'll have less traffic and it's probably not worth listing there.
Yeah. So how long does it take you to list 17 items on Vendu?
If I use Vendu, maybe an hour and a half.
It's been about an hour and a half.
Yeah, but I was like watching TV too, so it's like on and off.
Yeah. So Lynn's Closet says we're short one girl right now, so only one person is listing. Okay, so you have some help.
Is it a VA or is it like a person who's helping you?
Yeah, and then what kind of things are they helping you with? If you don't mind answering those questions. In fact, if you want to come on our live to talk, we would love to have you on. You can always request to come on live with us, and we're more than happy to do that.
So today we're going to talk about...
Okay, cool, yeah. If you want to come on our live, just go ahead and click the request to be on with us.
And maybe you could share a story.
And then we can have the conversation live. And just keep in mind, though, we do upload... Well, the story stays available for 24 hours for everyone to see. And then we do upload it to YouTube and our podcast. So you would be a part of that. Good morning, Echo Exchange. Happy Thursday. Good morning, Karen from 6 Creative Concepts. We're actually going to go live with Lynn's Closet. We have some questions about her business, and she's going to share with us. So super exciting. Thank you so much,
Yeah,
Lynn's
we have
Closet.
a guest today.
All right, let's take a look. Let's see if this worked here. I think we just requested back. Okay, there we go. It's connecting. Awesome. Hey. Hello,
Hi, how are
hello. Happy
you?
Thursday. Good. How are you?
Good. I'm gonna run and get my AirPod real quick.
Yeah, no worries. Okay. Let's
Where
see if
did
we
I?
could switch out of this as well. Yeah. And then how do
Okay,
I?
I was watching you guys on my iPad, but it didn't give me the option to, um,
Request.
yeah, it's,
Oh, really? Oh,
there we
that's
go.
good to know. I did not know that. It says, so good morning, ShayLab 7804. And good morning, Sila Lucy. We're
Okay,
trying
there we go.
to exit out of our pictures. Here, let me see if I can do that.
There.
Does anyone
Can you
know
see
how to
me?
do that?
Oh, here. Swipe all the way to the right.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Good job, Michelle. Awesome.
Yay!
Cool. Good morning, Danny R. Jasper. How you doing
Is it
today?
still morning?
Still morning in the
East
U.S.
Coast, yeah.
Yeah, for 30 more minutes. Good morning. It's the shop, NYC.
So what are you up to, Lynn?
Right now I'm just pulling some, tags off Goodwill stuff, just basically processing some inventory, but, no, I was gonna say, typically I have two full-time girls here. So right now I just have Christina. She's in there listing. If you can see her. Christina,
Oh,
wave.
Good morning, Christina.
There she is. They say good morning. Anyway, so she's pretty much doing all my listing right now. And then I normally have another girl in here. Her name's Paola. She typically does all the shipping, photographing, measuring, all the stuff that I don't like to do. Steaming, this kind of stuff. But lately I think right now she's averaging like 1 day a week. Like she's gonna come in tomorrow and just photograph all day.
nice.
But we ran out of stuff for her to list. So right now like yesterday I was photographing and today I'll be photographing. So I've kind of typically I would be listing all day as well. It would be two of us listing and then one person doing all of the other stuff. But she hasn't been working full time since sometime in March. So
So did you used to have two full-time people then before?
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and then, she was afraid she had it or that her sister had it, so I was like, go ahead and stay at home. And then,
Mhm.
the two weeks would pass, and I was like,
Right.
okay, can you come back in tomorrow and just do photographing or something? I'd
Definitely.
have her come in like on Saturday or something when I wasn't here. But
Hmm.
then, she's like, oh, I have a headache, and a fever. I was like, oh, well, don't come in. So she finally got tested. She
Yeah.
tested negative.
Oh,
Um,
good.
so that's good. So
Yeah.
but it took her like a month and a half to get tested. They wouldn't test her until her mom got sick too. So,
Oh.
but
Wow.
yeah, so right now with sales and everything being, not as good, we just have her in full
Hmm.
time and then Paula comes in. She'll be in tomorrow. So like 1 day a week right now. But she's collecting unemployment, so she's probably
Oh, good.
making more there anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. So we're just wondering, like, we're talking about listings, and we have like a listing challenge this week where we're
Okay.
asking everyone to join us to do at least 17 listings. So, like, between you and it sounds like 1.5
More.
averaging right now. I'd say.
Um, I would say 20 new listings. But
Nice.
then, we do a lot of relisting as well.
Oh,
So it's one person basically working on the computer. So she will in the morning relist a bunch on eBay,
oh,
that instead of it just and we don't use a cross listing service for that. We just
oh,
do sell similar
yep.
and then delete the old listings. But then with new listings, typically my other girl would put everything on Mercari. I usually work on Amazon and Poshmark. She works on eBay and Poshmark, and Paula would do Poshmark and mainly Mercari. But we've kind of just given up on Mercari. Like it died.
Oh no. Okay.
I
So,
can't
like,
make it
is it
work.
not, oh, I'm sorry. What were you saying about it?
Oh, I just haven't been able to make Mercari. I don't know what it is. I don't know
Uh-huh.
if I don't send offers enough. We don't
Oh,
relist enough on there. It's never just been like a high priority, so I don't know if we give it the attention it needs. So
got it.
we kind of just mainly focus on Poshmark and eBay because that's where majority of our sales are, and then Amazon.
Yeah, I mean, definitely Poshmark, eBay are the
Yeah.
top ones.
Are you selling mostly clothes, Lynn?
Yeah, mainly,
Yeah.
women's clothes. Well, we sell men's too, not really any kids, but clothes, bags, accessories, shoes. We do have some hard goods that we put on eBay, but a very, very little,
Yeah.
like less than 5%.
Yeah, what we've noticed is, Mercari, they say their most popular item would be clothes, but for us, it's mostly hard goods, actually.
Yeah, we've done well in Mercari doing a lot of hard goods.
Yeah.
Electronics do well on there for us,
Yeah.
and we've done well in electronics on OfferUp and eBay as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
And actually, OfferUp, when we did like an analysis of all our sales last year, was the third highest selling platform for us. So after
Wow.
eBay and Poshmark. So
Yeah.
Well, I do Facebook Marketplace a lot. I don't tend to put much on OfferUp. I don't know
Mhm.
why. It's
Yeah.
usually if it's something, you know, if I'm selling it locally, it's because it's too big to ship.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's furniture or
Yeah.
something that, you know, I found free alongside the road that we fixed up, or we literally just cleaned up and decorated and took a pretty picture.
Yeah.
But if it can be shipped, I typically don't even list those items on any local platforms. I don't know why. Probably because I just don't want to spend the time doing
Yeah,
that.
it takes time to do that. It could take you
Yeah.
like an hour to package one item. So it is like worth considering if it's worth it or
Mhm.
not to your business. So
Do you want to talk about today's topic?
yeah,
We're talking
yeah, I
about handling returns and complaints. Do you have a story to share?
oh gosh.
So many stories to share. Oh my God. So I don't know. I think I have 3 returns this week on eBay. So I'm not.
Mm.
So how do you usually
But
handle them? I mean, that's the
I
main thing.
drink.
Drink some wine or a beer.
Truly, you know, White Claw, whatever's here. No, so I offer free returns on eBay. So
Okay.
it just, oh, it doesn't fit. I don't want any more, whatever. So
Yeah.
I refund the amount of the item plus, you know, shipping once I get the item back and it's, you know, in good shape.
Yeah.
I didn't used to offer free returns, but I found that people would just make up, they'd say the item was not as described, and those can ding you if you get too many of them.
Yeah.
So I
True.
don't want, I mean, my friend, I don't know if you guys know Posh and Pucks, but she's been on eBay for years, and
Mhm.
she had 12 items not as described
Mhm.
in the last 12 months, and I think she sold like, I don't even know, had like 12,000 items or something. It's insane how much she sells on there. But that 12 of them, she got an email from eBay that said that she had to pay 5% higher in fees for the next year because she had 12 items not as described.
That's crazy.
So I find that if you have free returns, people are they're gonna find a way to get free shipping on the returns anyway. You could say no returns, and they're going to do it anyway.
True.
You know, they're gonna say the item's not as described. And I told eBay before, there's nothing wrong with this. Look at my photos versus the buyer's photos. They're saying that it was completely faded, and you could tell they just really put up the exposure on their photo and just made it look from hunter green to gray. We got it back and it was totally fine. But I had to pay their shipping because they said it was item not as described, and eBay basically told me that anytime a buyer says item not as described, there's no way for the seller to prove that it's not, so you will always pay for shipping.
Yeah.
So I'm like, might as well just offer free shipping because they're gonna do it anyway, and then I don't get dinged.
Yeah. So, like, does free shipping protect you from getting dinged on item not described on eBay?
I find people don't do it. They'll just say they don't want it, they changed their mind, it doesn't fit, because they're getting free shipping either way. Why
Right.
say it's not as described when they can just send it back?
Yeah.
Oh, that's very
Because
interesting.
that's the,
Oh, sorry.
you cut out for a second. What'd you say?
Yeah, no, well, we don't offer free shipping because we didn't want to deal with returns, but like you said, sometimes we still get them. And we did have an issue with eBay last year where we got a lot of dings, and all of a sudden we went from eBay being our #1 selling platform to getting nothing.
Well, because
Like,
our seller rating went down.
yeah,
Yeah.
something happened.
See, that's
Yeah.
that's so for me. Okay, so I just started on eBay
Okay.
in late August of last year, so I'm relatively new to eBay, but we do have everything cross-listed over. So
Yep.
I think right around 1,100, I think right now we have over there.
Nice.
But back in February, I got the top rated seller thing. But for you to be eligible for like the discount on the whatever it is, I think it's one of the fees, the final value fees, I think it's called. For me to be eligible to get my discount on there, I have to offer same day shipping or 1 day handling time, which I do 1 day handling, and then
Mhm.
I have to offer free returns. So
Mm.
then I get the badge by my name and everything. So to me, it's just worth it because I
Yeah,
mean, somebody once explained it to me. I think it was at Posh Fest a few years ago. They're like, if you just brace yourself that you're going to get cases opened and you know it's going to happen, eventually, inevitably it's going to happen. Then you won't
true.
be so upset when it happens. So I've kind of just got the mindset that people are going to return stuff. They're going to return it. And then if you have that in your mind, then you don't get as upset when it gets returned. But like I said, I have 3 this week, which is a lot for me. But some people
Hmm.
say their returns are like 2%. My returns are like 5%. I mean, I do have higher returns, but I mean,
Yeah,
we just list it and it sells again.
that's
Yeah.
good. Yeah, that's good.
Cool.
Yeah. So
So,
you have around 1,100 items at all times.
well, we did have a little bit more, but now that only one of us is listing all the
Hmm.
time, our
Hmm.
sales or our listings have went down a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, we really wanted to be at 2,000 actives by summer, but now this pandemic happened, and I really don't think we're going to get there. We do have a
I,
pallet coming, of like, I think 1,600 items. It's all shapewear. So it'll be like those non-emotional purchases on Amazon and eBay. You need a bra, so you buy it. So,
right,
um,
right. Okay. So those are new items. Do you sell both new and used items?
yes,
Oh,
we
okay.
do a combination of like liquidation from department store stuff.
Hmm.
Um, and then also, Goodwill, and I go to the bins, and I used to do consignment shops a lot. Oh, we do consignment for our clients as well. Um,
Nice. Yeah, we do that.
that is, I'm almost wanting to get away from it because I feel like all the stuff I get is just crap now.
Oh
I'm just
no.
tired of listing consignment. And of
Yeah.
course, it's like my friends, like, oh, take my stuff. And then they're like, I don't want your
Yeah.
stuff anymore. It's covered in dog hair.
Oh
But then
yeah.
she keeps wanting to give us stuff. And it's all like stuff that isn't, it's a long story. But anyway, I used to go to consignment stores a lot to
Hmm.
buy stuff, but I've just found it's what they want for the items is too high. I try to
Hmm.
keep my cost of goods between like $7 at the very most. Like if I'm
Yeah.
ordering a
Yeah.
pallet, I don't want it to be more than $7 with the shipping included. But
Yeah.
if I'm buying it from like Goodwill, I need it to be like $4 or $5 or less.
100%. Yeah. Or the bins is even less than that, right?
Yeah, I love the bins, and unfortunately, I made some stupid pact with a friend who was supposed to come visit. I was like, I'm not gonna go to the bins until you come down here and visit, and that was like in December.
Oh.
And then everything kept happening. She couldn't come down, and then pandemic, and now nothing is open. So I've been sourcing a lot on Poshmark. And I did pay up a lot. I think I averaged $10 an item, but I got a lot of shoes to sell, which I love selling shoes.
Very good. How about garage sales? Are there lots of those in Florida?
There are, and they're year round. I
Nice.
don't know. I need to go to more of them. I probably haven't been to a yard sale or garage sale in like a year and a half.
Oh, really?
I know. I just need to go and give it another try. I felt like I would just drive around, and it would just be crap. Or if it
Oh,
was good stuff, they were wanting like $15 an item, you
that's crazy.
know.
Yeah.
And back when I was going to the garage sales, I was only selling on Poshmark. I wasn't on eBay or any other platform yet. So, if I saw something good, like a video game or something that could be sold on eBay that wasn't allowed on Poshmark, I wouldn't even look at twice at it because um, someone says what part of Florida? I live in basically West Palm, Wellington, West Palm Beach. Um, but yeah, I haven't been going since I had the ability to sell other things besides clothing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. How about, so the last one, do you do any estate sales? Do you source at estate
I
sales?
really want to. I'm sure we've all seen Jenna's videos, Empty Hanger, where she goes to those like bomb estate sales. And I've been to a couple here. I don't think they're very good in Florida, to be honest. A lot of them don't really have clothes. It's like furniture, artwork,
Yeah.
things like that. So I've gone to a few of them, but I'm also not big on vintage. I
Oh,
have a really hard time moving vintage. Some people it flies out for them, but
yeah.
I have a really hard time. It moves faster on eBay, but I
Yeah.
really don't like picking up vintage.
We definitely love vintage.
I mean, I like vintage items more than clothes.
Yeah, we focus more on items.
Like historical items.
Mhm.
They're really cool.
See, I
Yeah.
just have a hard time like knowing. Like I'll find stuff. I always look in like the hard
Yeah.
goods sections at Goodwill and stuff. And
Nice.
I like psych myself out of it, you know. I'm like, oh, do you really know? I mean, it looks vintage. It feels like it's, really copper or whatever. But I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't know anything about it. So I don't want to say that it is, and then some expert buy it and be like, give me a terrible rating.
that's true.
So I do
Yeah.
tend to shy away, even if I think it's worth something. I will literally talk myself out of it as I'm holding it. No, no.
That's why doing research is so important.
Yeah.
Did you want to
What?
You had something that you wanted to say?
Oh, well, we have a couple of things to share. Thank you for joining us.
This is super
London.
fun.
Yes.
So
Thanks for
open.
having me.
And you
I'm gonna
have
get off.
on this weekend, right? You have
I'm sorry.
a event this weekend.
Oh yeah, with the symposium.
Did you
on
want to? Are you
Saturday.
on it?
Yeah, I speak on Saturday at noon Eastern time here. So it's about cross-listing to get
Nice.
multi-platforms and stuff. So,
Are there tickets
okay.
still available?
Well, I got a ticket as general admission, and then I talked to Brad and John, the Posh Kings, this morning, and I was like, yeah, I saw we're sold out, whatever.
Wow.
It's like, I said, how will I log on? I just got my general admission. I'm like, oh no, you're supposed to have a speaker ticket. So I went ahead and had Jasmine send me a link for that, but they're going to cancel my ticket. So there might be one more available.
Well, congrats on being a part of a sold out venue, and hopefully we can make it this weekend. If not, we wish you, the best of luck, and thanks for coming on today. We hope you have a kick-ass day and you sell a lot.
Thank you. I hope you guys do too.
Thank you
So
so
much.
much.
I'll continue watching.
All right, sounds good. Goodbye.
Bye.
So we actually do have some, we're going to talk more about the returns. So if you guys do happen to have any questions during this live, and you know what, this is just a laid back conversation. So if you guys have anything you want to say or include about returns, Lynn's tips are really good.
Yeah.
So please share it with us.
So a Vintage Joy Life actually asked us, which platform do we get the most returns? I could easily say it's eBay.
eBay. And I think for that reason, a lot of resellers don't want to sell on eBay.
Yeah, that's true.
But for us, like, yes, you get more than the average returns. Yeah, there's some shady people there. But, there's been shady people on other platforms as well.
Yeah.
It's not common, but it's just part of the territory. But eBay is definitely, I mean, I have to say it's got to have the most buyers, so it's worth it. Yeah. But like Lynn said, if you just like mentally prepare yourself and know that you're going to get returns no matter what, this is a business you're in.
Yeah.
Expect them, and then learn to just move past them. I think you'll be okay.
Yeah.
And I think it's still worth doing. All platforms will have returns. Even if you guys venture out to selling on Amazon, it's going to be part of your business. You want to make sure you keep them low, right? So, and that's something that you want to look into as well. But we want to make a few shout outs. So, so we just want to say hello, Nuts Collectibles, and Mrs. Taylor 503, Merchant Words, A Vintage Joy Life, F&S Sellers, Tootsie Avila, and Real Sells. Thanks for joining us this morning.
So if you guys have any questions, there's a little icon on the bottom. Click on that and feel free to send us any questions. So we're talking about returns and handling complaints. So a key thing is a lot of people think, customer is always right no matter what. I think in most cases, but there are some platforms that actually evaluate the case, and actually they sometimes side with the seller. For instance, we have an example to show you. This was a jersey that we had sold on Poshmark for $100. And there was a little bit of the description that wasn't accurate on Poshmark. As you could see, it says XL. However, we took a picture of the actual size that says XXL. So the buyer filed a complaint and wanted a return, and Poshmark surprisingly evaluated the case and they sided with us, and they actually released a payment for us.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say, like, when it comes to returns and the platform you're using, Poshmark really does take their time to evaluate the situation. They let you respond to like to your case, whereas eBay doesn't do that. Like eBay will take the customer's side even if it's not 100% true. So we really like that about Poshmark.
Yeah.
We think that's really fair.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, it's still up to you if you want to give the refund and accept the return on Poshmark to the buyer.
Mm-hmm.
So all right, next example.
So next question is, do I always have to accept a return? So yes and no, depending on the platform. When it comes to eBay, 100% of the time they side with the buyer. So what they advise, and I think in our experience, it would be to come to a common ground with the buyer. Try to talk to the buyer and say, hey, I'm sorry about your dissatisfactory of the item. Is there anything that you would like from our store in exchange? Or we can offer you a discount. So do whatever you can to not make that return happen, because let's say your profit is 3 times of your cost, and if they decide to choose another item and you send another item that's not even like half the cost of your profit, it's really worth it. So that would be our advice. Anything to add?
I do not.
You want to talk about this?
We do have a few returns we want to share with you guys though. So this was really interesting. We got this gorgeous, beautiful fire truck, Tonka truck, vintage toy. It was in such good condition. Michelle bought it at an estate sale. We paid a good amount of money for it. And it was sold to a collector on eBay
for $250.
For $250, okay. And the collector, after they got it, they put in a claim that there were
it's not authentic.
That it didn't have authentic parts, which was really hard to disprove. Honestly, like he couldn't prove that was the case. So, what happened during that situation?
So they claimed that it's not authentic, and this is a vintage item. There's like, who would make fake parts for
I think people do, but this looked in really good shape. It came from an estate sale, so there were a lot of old things at this estate sale. We even bought a phone that was over 100 years old. So
yeah,
it looked like it wasn't messed with, right?
Yeah.
So eBay let him return it, but they offered us a 50% refund, I think it was, or
no. So what happened was we had eBay jumped in and they agreed with us. However, they still want to side with the buyer. So the shipping was $80 to ship this truck. So the buyer paid for the shipping, obviously, and now the question is, who's going to pay for the shipping for the return? And so when I talk to eBay, they understand where we come from. They don't believe it's not authentic, and they actually we actually paid for the shipping ourselves, and they reimbursed us the shipping costs. So the good thing about eBay is you could really try and talk to them especially on the phone. They have really great customer service, at least our experience. And if you reason with them, they're gonna be a little bit more lenient with things. And we got our money back for the shipping, so it was like a complete return without any extra cost on our case.
Yeah, so we were able to resell this again really fast.
Yeah.
And we recommended that the buyer pay FedEx to professionally package it and return it. So when we sold it, it was already packaged and ready to go.
Yeah.
But the other thing, like what Michelle was saying about eBay, is that eBay really depends a lot on feedback from the buyer and seller rating. And if you do have any issues, what eBay is really good about is they want to please both. They want to please you and the buyer. Of course, the buyer has a little bit more weight and leverage, but if you get a bad review and you call eBay, they may be able to remove it for you, which is one big plus. And I don't think a lot of people know that.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you have a reasonable, if you have a strong reason to back up why the feedback is not fair, they would remove it if they, believe in you, of course.
So Tootsie Avila says, my issue is hearing people complain, want their money back, and want to keep the item.
Unfortunately, that happened to us, my Tootsie Villa. Sometimes people, like Lynn was saying that too, they buy the item and they just want free stuff. Maybe offer free return and call eBay and see what they say. That is really, the drawback of eBay, because it is the biggest platform out there, and there are plus and minuses.
Yeah. So have you had a lot of those situations happen? I don't think we've had that happen, but not too much.
No.
Yeah, usually it's a legitimate error. It could even be like on our end where we send the wrong size or we listed the wrong size. So I don't think it's okay for people to do that and keep the item.
It's not.
I don't think it's okay.
It's not.
But unfortunately, sometimes you have to like see if it's going to cost you more to ship it back,
Exactly.
and is it worth the hassle? But obviously, like in so many ways, that's wrong.
Yeah.
But people do it, unfortunately.
Yeah. So another thing is what happens if the carrier broke the item. So the carrier would cover the cost in this case. This is something Mercari started offering to. There is an insurance that they cover. I think eBay, depending on your carrier, I think it's easier to file a claim with FedEx and UPS. USPS takes a little longer. But always remember that, you can get your money back if your carrier broke the item. Yeah,
and I had a reseller friend recently that happened to her, and it was USPS. And I think she was just kind of over the claim process. It wasn't very easy.
Yeah.
But, I mean, again, if it's the right thing and if it's worth your time, I think for her it wasn't. She's like, oh, it's $20. It's not worth my time.
Exactly.
But they do have those processes. I think FedEx is pretty good. Are they? Mm-hmm. They're pretty good, right? They're not hard to deal with at all.
No.
Yeah. So Riasel said, oh, actually, let me back up. Tootsie Avila says, I haven't personally, but I see it in Facebook groups I'm a part of. And that's a great way to learn, is through other resellers. So that's good. You're watching out and preparing. Riasel says, my guy got the item, got his money back, and said he will refund me, but he never has.
Yeah, so that is the key. Every time I call eBay about a refund, they told me not to send the money back before you get the item. So that is something. I think I did that once too. I gave the guy money and then nothing ever came back. So wait for the item to get back. The same thing with Poshmark. They actually handle all the money parts, which is great. So what happened was we sold a Kobe Bryant jersey last month, and the guy said, oh, I don't want it because this is not, this is a youth size. I want an adult size. So sure, we'll accept the return. He never returned the item. Poshmark gave us the money back. So
yeah. Okay, that's a good tip then. And sorry that happened, Ria. Keep asking for it. Hopefully he has the heart, to give it back. I don't think that's right. That's like that's perfect example of people keeping stuff for free. It's not okay. Lynn's Closet says, yeah, I got a bad rating a few weeks ago from a buyer who said the item was defective when it wasn't. I told them in messages that I offer free returns, but she wanted to keep it and got a full refund. That's not cool. Lynn's Closet LLC says, I want to call eBay and see if I can get the rating removed, but eBay isn't taking calls right now.
Oh,
is that what's going on?
You know what, Lynn's Closet, that's what I thought too because of the pandemic. But if you go on your desktop and you click on help and you scroll all the way down, there's a section that says contact us, have us call you, or call eBay. It's actually there. It's available. So you could talk to them. I was on there yesterday.
So did they call you then?
You can choose. If you choose eBay to call you, it's within minutes. Your phone would ring. So,
so for you, did you call them or did they call you?
They always call me. I always have them call me. Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't have to wait.
Yeah. So hopefully you can give that a try, Lynn, and I hope that they can remove that rating. That's I mean, these are like the, sorry to say, scumbags that like are doing messed up things. They shouldn't do that. All right. So your favorite Jenna, good morning. Maria Sell says, nope, he's a seller on eBay and he's not nice. That's not cool.
Oh, how weird. I'll send you the link after this.
And then Ria says, yes, I had eBay call me. And Lynn's Closet said, I've done that, but the option wasn't available last week. Yeah. So if, so maybe, yeah. So check again, Lynn. And if you don't see it, contact us and we'll navigate that with you.
So the next thing is, you know, it's same topic. How do we handle unreasonable buyers? So we've had people who said, hey, the clothes didn't fit, but we had measurements in the description. There was a case on Poshmark, and we sold a pair of J brand distressed jeans, and the, you know, measurements were there, the size, everything was accurate. The buyer got it, she wore it, and she ripped the pants, and literally she took a photo of her back with the part that was ripped
Of her behind.
of
It
her
was
behind.
weird, but
Yeah.
it was clearly the pants were too little for her.
Yeah.
And she showed that picture, which is like proof that they didn't fit her. So
It was TMI, that photo.
Yeah.
Just FYI. Anyway, Poshmark sided with us,
yeah.
and they actually released a payment for us. Here's another example. This guy bought a pair of Levi's jeans.
So
and
this guy said, I should have paid attention to the last picture, not what I thought I was buying, but for the price I should have realized, I guess I will make these work. Little disappointed. It's crazy because I remember selling these and Michelle and I were being generous. We're like, we'll give him a good deal. You know, we didn't lower the price. We took his offer. And yesterday we talked about pricing, and this is a perfect example of people valuing higher priced items, right? Or not valuing lower priced items.
yeah.
So,
So what happened was we let it go this time because we don't want to pay for the shipping for them to ship it back. We're just like, you know what, you can have it. So, you know, you gain some, you lose some. It doesn't happen a lot, returns to us, thankfully. And, you know, you just kind of have to, as a business as a whole, you want to make sure you provide good customer service. A bad rating is certainly doing more damage to you than, you know, than making a buyer happy.
all right. So 5 says, set up a reasonable return policy.
So you could set your return policy and make sure it's in writing. So in case something happens, you can, you know, look at it and reason with the buyer, reason with eBay or whoever your platform is.
Yeah. And like we said, like we don't offer returns, and so we'll make exceptions, and we do charge a restocking fee. So we say, hey, we'll take your return. Keep in mind, we're going to charge, you know, 20% restocking fee, and you have to pay for shipping. And that oftentimes discourages customers from returning items.
But there are some nice buyers sometimes, you know, they would pay for it. Again, you know, evaluate the pros and cons, like what we talked about, making sure, you know, ask yourself, is this worth it? Is it like the Tonka truck? If it's something that's $250, yes, you got to fight for it.
Yeah.
But if it's like something small,
Like the jeans, we
Yeah.
just let it go.
yeah, just let it go. Part of the business. And then if the issue isn't resolved, ask for help. I did a little screen cap. This is from eBay. Unfortunately, Poshmark, they don't let you call them, which is something that I really dislike about Poshmark. You have to email them. They respond to your email fairly quickly, but still, I'd rather talk to a real person when it comes to these type of complaints.
Maybe later as Poshmark gets bigger, they'll hire. Who
Yeah.
knows? But so far it's working for them pretty well. So, all right. So we're just wondering if you have any more questions or comments before we go. This is the time to place them below or add it to the little question sticker. And happy Friday, Junior, everyone.
Happy
It's
Friday, June.
Friday Eve. And so a couple of reminders, make sure you guys are listing 17 items today. It is possible. Michelle's right now averaging an hour and a half to do 17 items. Now, is that relisting as well?
Just relisting. Yeah.
Just relisting. When you relist, do you change the titles and the
Sometimes
descriptions?
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
And the picture. sometimes when you swap the primary main photo, it kind of helps.
How
You
about
never
the
know.
prices? Do you change the prices?
I lower it a little bit if it's an item that's been around for a
You
long
lower
time.
it? Oh no.
Tiny bit, like $1 or $2.
Okay, so I reprice stuff on Amazon all the time. We sell books on there. My recommendation is if you are relisting items, you should definitely take the time to look up the prices because prices change, right? So if you compare items that are hot now, bread makers and such, to items that you were selling 3 or 4 months ago, you may be losing profit. So
Yeah.
make sure that you look up the prices as you're relisting. Take a little bit of time. It's worth doing. All right. So awesome. We have 6 Creative Concepts says, thank you once again. I'm driving and listening. Peace. Thank you for listening, Karen. Titsia Avila says, just a reminder. And EcoAction says, 17 on all platforms or one platform. We do it on 3 platforms.
We use a cross-listing tool, so all platforms.
Yeah, and sometimes it's 4 platforms. So we use vendu.co. If you want more information on that,
Go.
it is in the link in the bio. So that was Michelle leaving. She had a nice exit. So have a wonderful Thursday, you guys. We look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Thanks for joining us this morning, and we hope you have a wonderful day. Make it great, and we'll see you tomorrow.